You know the feeling. You get a surge of late-night motivation to change your life. You set a bold alarm for 5 a.m., and yet, by the following evening, you find yourself completely paralyzed on the couch, losing hours to a screen. We are taught to view this collapse as a personal failing. Society labels this behavior as laziness, a lack of moral fiber, or simply a weak character. You are told you just don't want it badly enough. Relying on raw willpower is a strategy that ignores the scale of what you're fighting. When you try to force a new habit through motivation alone, you are pitting a few seconds of conscious intent against millions of years of evolutionary survival programming. Your inability to stick to a routine is not a defect in your character. It is the predictable result of deploying the wrong mental tool against a brain that is operating exactly as it was designed to. This diagram illustrates what neuroscience calls cognitive ease. The human brain is essentially an engine optimized for strict energy conservation. For the vast majority of our history, surviving a hostile environment meant prioritizing immediate rewards. The brain was specifically calibrated to favor the quickest, easiest path to calories and rest, actively steering you away from any unnecessary exertion. The modern world demands the exact opposite. We are expected to prioritize abstract, energy-intensive targets, like studying for a degree or lifting weights. When your brain is faced with these complex tasks, it aggressively rejects them, reverting the energy back to the path of least resistance. So when you choose the couch over the gym, your brain isn't broken or malicious. It is executing its original, energy-saving design perfectly. The people who actually maintain strict routines understand this biological reality, so they don't fight it. They use choice architecture. This is the principle that human behavior is dictated heavily by whatever is most visible and accessible in our immediate physical space. This schematic demonstrates a famous hospital cafeteria study. Researchers found that by moving bottled water from back refrigerators to front checkout counters, water consumption spiked and soda sales dropped. There were no motivational campaigns. The physical environment changed and human behavior automatically followed. You can engineer your own life the exact same way. If you want to run in the morning, place your shoes directly next to your bed. If you want to stop scrolling, charge your phone in an entirely different room. Those who appear hyper-disciplined are really just behavioral engineers. They arrange their surroundings so that doing the right thing requires far less energy than doing the wrong thing. Even with a perfect environment, starting a new action still requires a massive spike in mental energy. Initiating the movement, overcoming that initial inertia, is where almost all the friction lives. This visual represents a strategy to bypass that friction, called habit stacking. Instead of trying to build a new routine from scratch, you take a behavior your brain already does on autopilot and attach the new action directly to it. You already brush your teeth every morning without thinking. If you want to meditate, commit to sitting for 2 minutes the exact second you put your toothbrush down. If you want to read more, open a book the moment your coffee finishes brewing. By anchoring a new task to an established cue, you eliminate the mental debate of starting. You build structural momentum, and that momentum is what sustains consistency over the long term. Procrastination functions as a diagnostic warning light. It happens when the brain calculates that a task is too complex, too distant, or too physically demanding to justify the energy expenditure. To bypass this rejection, we use the 4 laws of behavior change. These laws act as a blueprint to satisfy the brain's need for efficiency. The task must be obvious, attractive, easy to start, and immediately satisfying. If you are actively avoiding a task, you need to audit it against these laws. Is your study material buried out of sight? Is the process incredibly tedious? Is the barrier to entry too high? Or is there absolutely zero immediate reward upon finishing? If a task fails even one of these criteria, your biological hardware will naturally reject it. You have to re-engineer the approach to lower the friction before trying again. When you structure a task to offer clear direction and an immediate sense of completion, you remove the biological reasons for delay. You trick your ancient brain into full compliance. There is a popular idea in productivity culture that you must fall in love with the grind or genuinely enjoy grueling tasks to succeed. This is entirely false. Highly effective people do not magically wake up vibrating with excitement to work out at 5 a.m. They have simply designed their lives so that executing the routine is physically and mentally easier than dealing with the guilt and effort required to avoid it. The human brain builds its self-image based on evidence. Every time a small, automated habit is completed, it serves as a vote for a new identity. By repeatedly executing these small actions, you provide your mind with the physical data it needs to believe you are the person you claim to be. As these votes accumulate, the resistance to the task fades. The behavior stops feeling like a forced performance and starts feeling like a natural expression of who you are. Forget the hunt for more willpower. Look at the room you're sitting in right now. Choose one physical barrier or one automatic cue and redesign it until your success is the path of least resistance.